As the firearms industry grows and evolves, we see a lot more new designs on handguns, rifles, and shotguns, but also accessories, optics, and obviously jewelry. And for that, I have an expert tonight on that topic, and that's Joe Wall. Joe is in his 10th year in the firearms industry, having worked for Marlin, Remington, and now Taurus Firearms, bringing new products to life, both in new design and now in manufacturing. 2 years ago, before getting engaged to his wife, Christen, Joe came up with an idea that Christen absolutely loved: designing jewelry inspired by what he most loved, firearms. So here is Joe Wall. How are you, Joe?
I'm great, Gabby. How are you doing tonight?
Very, very good. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me today and talking about this super awesome subject. I mean, I think it's an art to design guns and jewelry. And I'm sure many people have the big question: how do you become a gun designer?
I get that question all the time. I started my career almost 10 years ago after I got my degree in mechanical engineering. And after that, I was looking for a job, of course. And I really stumbled into the firearms industry quite by accident. My dad happened to know an HR guy at the right company at Marlin Firearms. And from there, he got me a quick intro to the head of R&D. I interviewed, I got the job, and from there, it's been 10 long years in the gun industry. It's been amazing.
Now, let me ask you, because I know now you work in the firearms industry. I mean, you're a gun designer. How awesome is that? But at the same time, was that something that you really wanted to get involved? Like you always thought, like, I want to work in the firearms industry, or just happened that you just started working in the firearms industry?
I'll tell you, growing up, I never really considered it. And even as I started my career in the firearms industry, I didn't even know if it was going to be something I was going to grow to love and enjoy. It was only after I got into it that I really found a passion for it. And when I first started, I was even a little skeptical of the industry as a whole. I was like, is this going to be exciting? You know, what goes into firearms design? I mean, guns are hundreds of years old. I mean, what more could be done to guns? And I'm sure a lot of people still say that. But after I started getting into the industry and learning what it takes to bring a gun to life and bring a gun to the market, I realized that there is a lot of challenges and a lot of really unique opportunities that are still in the gun industry today.
Let me ask you, what has been the biggest challenge you faced as a new gun designer, like when you started at Marlin's Firearms?
Well, when I first started, I mean, the hardest thing was getting over the initial skepticism of getting into gun design. But once I started getting into it and realizing what it all took, understanding the energies involved, understanding the choreography of all the parts that go into designing the guns, I realized that there was a lot of challenges day in and day out, and all different platforms I was working on. And I remember there being big challenges on simple what seemingly seemed like bolt action 22s.
Yeah.
But there was incredible challenges involved in both timing and geometry and material selection that was that really blew my mind at the time. And,
wow.
And it only got harder from there.
I cannot imagine. And how a gun designer goes from designing firearms to designing jewelry. Like, I see that beautiful piece that you have next to you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is one of the first few pieces that I designed. This is a necklace that I designed for my wife, Christen, for our wedding. It's a trigger bar necklace designed after the 1911. Once I got into the industry, for many years, I started really paying attention to the design details of all these different guns. And I really fell in love with 1911s, among other guns.
Well, I have my own here.
I know you.
My beautiful necklace. This is a 1911 trigger. And I have to say, everywhere I go, especially in the firearms industry, everybody's like, that's a trigger. I'm like, yes, I got it. I am a 1911 girl.
Exactly. I love it. there's so many like really powerful imagery and designs within guns. You know, the 1911 trigger is so iconic, and it's never been captured on something that you could wear before. So it's been, you know, it's really been an interesting journey to take these designs that I get to work with day in and day out and bring
Yeah.
people that, you know, can wear them day in and day out.
That's fantastic. And let me ask you, how is the process like to design firearms? You know, for like, I'm curious, how do you start designing a pistol? Because, okay, to give you an example, like you
Sure.
worked at Remington, and I think on the brief emails, feedbacks that we had, you
Yeah.
talk about designing 1911s. It's like, how much, you know, what else can you do in a 1911s? You guys sit down for hours and trying to figure, you know, something out. How does it work?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, whether you're working on 1911s, which is a 100-year-old platform, or you're working on something brand new, I've had a chance to work on a number of different things from, you know, again, from 1911s to brand new products. And, you know, some of the hardest things to really to do is to start by defining what you want to do. And a lot of people get hung up in the details of, you know, what does this gun want to be, or what does this design have to do, and really nailing down the initial definition of how what you want to design, you know, really leads you to bringing the design to life, you know, faster. I mean, the whole design process, you know, from start to finish can take years, and really understanding, you know, where you want to get to at the end is so important to define at the beginning.
And would you say that obviously what the end user needs as well?
Exactly. And understanding that from the beginning, again, you know, goes into every detail of the gun, you know, from the ergonomics and aesthetics to, of course, the function and reliability of the gun.
And how different it is from going and designing guns to design jewelry? Would you use the same kind of process, or is it different?
I'll tell you, you know, designing jewelry is no different than designing guns.
Huh.
When we're in the design process of guns, there is, you know, many hours, you know, spent on, you know, 3D design CAD, where you're designing every excruciating detail of the gun. You know, from extractors, ejectors, you know, angles of feed, you know, things like that, and then going through phases of prototyping, and testing, and breaking, and redesigning, and then reprototyping and retesting and rebreaking, and then, you know, the cycle takes for months and months on end. and I'm sure you've seen some of the R&D development over the years, you know, working with Remington and other companies.
Yeah,
it's never quite right the first time, but by the time it hits the customer, it is right.
That's fantastic. What is the product that you are the most proud of, that you can say, wow, and both ways? And well, I'm sure in your jewelry, all of it, maybe. But
I'll tell you, I've had so many really interesting wins and victories, you know, when it comes to designing guns. I mean, even small wins, you know, coming up with a new material to use for different barrels or extractors for different guns has been, you know, really rewarding. But I'll tell you, going into, you know, back to jewelry design, it's no different than gun design. You know, where we go through the same process, and you know, Christen and I will spend hours at night figuring out each detail of each piece, and then from there we go and, you know, I'll design it. You know, I'll spend hours, days, you know, sometimes weeks on the design before I'll go and prototype it in either sterling silver or 14 karat gold. And then from there, it's, you know, looking at the design and reviewing whether is it wearable, is it fashionable, is it fun, is it bold enough, is it big enough, is it too big, is it too small, does it need diamonds, does it need more diamonds, you know, things like that before we actually go into you know, start marketing a piece.
That's great. What would be your advice for somebody who say, hey, I would love to work in the firearms industry. I would love to design firearms. What would you tell a person?
Be open-minded, of course, is the number one. Because again, I was a little skeptical going in, but I really grew to love it. But number two is, you know, get a really good sound education at the beginning. And that may sound a little cliche, but, you know, getting into firearms design, you really have to, you know, dig into the details of the math and science and the engineering involved of every aspect of the gun. And understanding that from the beginning only helps you, as you progress through your career.
What do you think?
And then, of course, I was going to say the last part about that is paying attention to material science classes as an engineer. I mean, it's come in handy so much in this industry, and understanding how different materials react.
Yeah.
It's been really eye opening.
I actually have a lady saying, show us some close-ups of the pieces. We want to see more. Do you have anything else close that people can see?
Let's see. I'll start with the. I'll just zoom in a little closer. This is the 1911 piece I designed for Kristen for our wedding, which is again designed after the 1911 trigger bar and trigger, and then the matching earrings that have diamonds, pearls, and a cascading 1911 triggers.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So that's some of the really high end stuff that we're working on. Another piece I have. This is the first piece I ever designed, which is a gold ring designed after the internal baffles inside the suppressor.
Nice. But you don't only design for women. You have very nice pieces for men as well.
Of course. So some of the men's pieces we have are takes on the women's pieces, but they're bigger and bolder, as most men prefer. Men of course are bigger chested, and it's something that is bolder and can be seen and enjoyed.
I really like the bolt.
Yeah, the AR bolt head has been one of our most popular designs so far. And of course, the 1911 trigger, whether you're dealing with a 3-hole design for women or a skeletonized trigger, which is more tactical for men, it's a really powerful design that people have really taken to.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think it's fantastic, the designs, and I went to your website and I really like everything that you have there. I think, Valentine's Day is coming. My birthday is coming.
It sure is. And I'll tell you, in just in time for Valentine's Day, we went and restocked on our most popular items. From the 1911 triggers and the AR bolt heads to even a small over and a shotgun. All stone silver. It's we've got plenty in stock and ready for Valentine's Day.
I don't think you show us. Can you show us about the shotgun piece? Yes,
I can. I'm gonna try and zoom in here real quick on this guy. So here's a sample of all three of our pieces, all three of our range ready pieces, which is the 1911 small 3-hole trigger, the AR bolt face, and the over under shotgun.
That's great. Well, what is your most popular? What is your most popular product that you have?
Right now, the most popular is the both the 1911 trigger and the AR bolt face. But what's cool about all of our products is that we ship it in an actual gun box.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. So you can store another gun that you have right there too, if you want.
Exactly. You can store both your guns and your jewelry in the same box.
Have you ever thought? Are you probably? I don't know. This is a random question, but do you think about designing something else besides going in the firearms designs for jewelry, or are you going to stick to that line?
I'm going to stick to what I know. Right now, what I know and what I've been working on for the last 10 years has been gun design. I know guns inside and out, and I really feel passionate about what I do, and I love going to work day in and day out. It's something that I just feel passionate about, and it's something I love. So I'm going to stick with design and what I love, and hopefully I can bring design to everyone else in the country or the world, for that matter. And something that I see that's beautiful from my heart that everyone else can share.
Oh, that's awesome. So now you work for Taurus. Also, you are the production engineer, engineering manager.
Correct.
So is there anything new that you can tell us about? I'm just curious. I don't know.
Nothing new, but we are finally shipping Spectrums right now. So it's very exciting. It's our newest product that we released this past year. It's a
Uh-huh.
small 3 pocket gun, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's an incredible combination of both engineering design and aesthetic beauty. It's something that everyone's gonna love.
I think that, I mean, it's amazing what you do because you are actually, you're combining the best of the two worlds, okay? Guns
Exactly.
and jewelry. I
I'll tell you,
mean,
just like with firearms design, people demand the best out of their guns. So I think they should also demand the best out of their jewelry too.
well, definitely. And, everybody who's in the firearms industry, and we have seen so many jewelry designs, everything that goes from brass goes
Hmm.
from, but you went like, top, top to the line, top of the line right there.
Yeah, it's something that if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it all in. You know what? I still remember talking with Kristen about this crazy idea I had 2 years ago, and we we walked down to one of our favorite restaurants. We grabbed a drink. We got relaxed, and I remember telling her that I wanted to do something that I had never before seen done before. And what I told her is I wanted to design something really high end, really beautiful, and I wanted to be something that people are going to want to hold on to forever. And when I told her that I wanted to design jewelry based off of guns, she absolutely lit up and was like blown away by it.
I
And
don't think there wouldn't be any woman who wouldn't. I mean,
exactly. So Kristen's really been benefiting from this whole adventure because every time I design and prototype a piece, she gets new jewelry added to her collection. So
and I'm going to switch gears a little bit because what you are saying is very important in the way that we all have expectations, we have goals, we have dreams. We want to work hard and say, I want to do this, but there's a lot, and it's a long process, and most of the time you don't see results right away. And especially
no,
for
I
you, I
agree.
mean, you went completely opposite direction. I mean, we're not talking that you went and designed grips for the guns that you know. You went completely to go into a different market, which is jewelry. And,
Yep.
I like to talk about that because I think it's important that people understand and see that it's possible that you can reach your goals, that you can go ahead and dream, but understand that the journey may be long and may not be necessarily that easy,
Oh,
right?
it is a long journey, I'll tell you, but it has been absolutely fun every step of the way. And don't get me wrong, there's some long nights and crazy hours, and I'm just really happy and fortunate that my amazing wife is here to help me every step of the way. She's actually the CEO of our company right now, so and she's the one laughing in the background. But yeah, she is the rocket foundation of our company, and really helps drive everything we're doing forward. Everything, we started this just under 2 years ago, and we're just now coming to market now. We launched our website at the end of August, and since then it's been just a steady stream of more challenges that we've had to overcome. Just to get there was a long journey, but ever since we've launched, it's been even harder yet. But again, it's just like with gun design, it's just more challenges that we enjoy facing, head on together.
And I think that's fantastic. Anything else that you would like to share with us? The firearms industry is in a position that evolves all the time. I tell people the industry is almost like technology. You cannot be dormant. You have to evolve. You have to grow. You have to create.
Yeah, and keep innovating too.
Yes,
Uh,
right.
Customers, continue to demand more and different and exciting, day in and day out. I mean, even now, as the industry continues to grow, we're seeing more and more new shooters come into the fold, and shooters that have been around for a long time that are looking for something new and exciting. Another thing that's really helped drive our passion for this is as we create more jewelry, that's more things that people are wearing and sharing about their passion for guns, and sharing it openly. not everyone is out there, ready and comfortable to conceal carry or open carry in some places, or go out and really have their firearm with them at all times. But it's still something that I've got plenty of guns in my safe, and I'm sure you do too. That you absolutely love. They're beautiful, pieces of art. And some of the guns that we've got are, and not just me, but a lot of people out there that are fully engraved and customized and work done to them. And, they, at the end of the day, you sit down and look at it and it's absolutely beautiful. And then you lock it away in your safe and where it spends most of its time. So this is something that, you can have with you at all times, not worry about it, and really enjoy and share your passion for what you love, and have, a conversation starter that you can, bring more people into the mix of guns.
Definitely. How long has it taken you, when you started designing this jewelry, how long it took you to say, okay, we have enough that we can start a production?
Oh man, that was from the time we started working on the jewelry business side of it. I'd say about a year and a half at least.
Wow.
Yeah, this was not something that started, weeks or months ago. This was something that, we really sat down and looked at all the details of where we wanted to get to, what types of products we wanted to bring. And we did a lot of competitive benchmarking across the industry. And this is funny, Kristen loved this, but our benchmarking was going to jewelry stores and shopping for jewelry. So there was a lot of nights and days spent at malls and jewelry stores and trying jewelry on, and buying different things that as samples and prototypes to see what we liked and didn't like. And it took a long time to get to where we were at, but I'm really fortunate we put in all the hours and the time ahead of time to understand what people wanted and noticing trends and paying attention to all that. And I hope we're bringing a product that people are going to love and enjoy. And so far, the feedback we've been getting has been incredible from all across the country.
Well, I bet. Have you received any requests, like crazy requests, like saying, oh, I want you to, design this pistol or a shotgun, or I don't know.
Sure have. There's actually there's a piece on our website now. It's called the 308 Hogstooth. That has a request from a retired U.S. Marine sniper. And that piece right there, his story to me was, when he graduated from sniper school from the Marine Corps, he was awarded a 308 bullet, which had a hole drilled through it, and it was on a leather lanyard. Well, that piece to him was so precious, he did not want to ever chance losing that, because it meant so much to him. So when he found what we were doing, he reached out and asked us, is it possible for us to make a 308 Hogstooth that he could wear in replace of the one that he had earned? And now that we've gone through and we went and designed it, and it worked out perfect for him.
That's fantastic.
And that, I'll tell you, that's just one of many stories. I mean, even today we've gotten 2 different requests from people to design AK pieces and different pieces of the ARs and
I think that'd be great.
It's been really exciting. The feedback we've been getting has been.
Yes, I think that's fantastic. and besides everything, I mean, I think bringing your creativity in a way that you're not only design firearms, but you also bring it to jewelry and bring the best out of both, I think is fantastic. And I thank you, and I thank you for doing that, because sometimes we see so many products out there that they just put stuff out there that doesn't have the quality or the love behind it. And it's really refreshing to talk to somebody who has both of those. That you have the passion, you have the love for what you do, and you are actually putting out there something that is worthwhile having, owning, and proud of having. So for everybody who's watching right now, Valentine's Day is coming. So there you have it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you, making something and putting a heart and passion to it is all we want to do. And it's something that we hope that anyone that goes and buys a piece of ours, it's something that they hold on to forever. Just like just like guns are bought and passed down from one generation to the next, because there's some special meaning and passion and love behind it. Our jewelry should be, we're aiming for that same feeling for people to have too. There's just as mothers are passing down jewelry to their daughters, and fathers are passing down guns to their sons. We hope that our jewelry is also something that gets passed down from one generation to the next as well.
Well, why don't you tell our viewers how they can find you, even though I'm going to put all that information on the description.
You can find us on Instagram at joewalldesign. You can find us on our website at joewalldesign.com. Or you can find us on Facebook by searching Joe Wall Design.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for being here with me. I think this was a great interview. It's just, completely a little bit out of the norm when you talk about guns and then you start talking about jewelry, but I think that's fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me, Gabby. Just like I said earlier, this is my first time doing a live interview on our company, or our live interview period.
Yeah, well, you did great.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
You Bye-bye. Too. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Sure.
Bye.
Well, guys, there you have it. If you want to go and check out their products, go to joewalldesign.com. They have awesome designs, awesome products. And thank you for joining tonight. I just want to say thank you to Liberty Safe, which is the #1 manufacturer of gun safes, fire safes, and home safes. And also the NSSF, the National Shooting Sport Foundation, who works to promote, protect, and preserve hunting in the shooting sports. There are companies who support me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you for being here tonight. So thank you. Have a good night, and tomorrow is Spanish Tuesday. Bye-bye.